The drama inside one of hip-hop's most famous families has exploded into a storm that nobody could have predicted. King Harris, the fiery son of rap legend T.I. and singer Tiny, has thrown the entire culture into chaos after dropping claims that left fans stunned, confused, and divided. What started as a heated argument in public has spiraled into whispers of betrayal, emotional scars, and even shocking rumors that question the very foundation of the Harris household. Imagine this: a packed Atlanta Falcons game, thousands of eyes watching, and in the middle of it all, a father and son clashing in front of cameras. Voices raised, tempers boiling over, and then, in an instant, an entire family legacy shaken. Hours later, King doubled down online, unleashing words that cut deeper than anyone expected. Fans weren't just shocked, they were speechless. Could this be the breaking point that exposes hidden truths the family fought for years to keep behind closed doors? Or is this simply a son pushing back against a larger-than-life father? Tonight, we take you inside the scandal that has the internet on fire, with questions about mistreatment, loyalty, and a rumored paternity twist that nobody saw coming. The tension between King Harris and his father T.I. didn't erupt overnight. It's been simmering for years, hidden beneath red carpet smiles and glossy reality TV images. But at the Falcons game, the mask cracked in front of the world. Fans in the stands pulled out their phones, eager to capture the spectacle, and within minutes, clips were flooding social media. The video showed King shouting, his voice sharp with rage, while T.I. stepped in, trying to rein him back. But instead of diffusing the situation, things escalated. The rapper, known for running Atlanta's streets and dominating the charts, suddenly had to wrestle his own son into a headlock, right there in the middle of the stadium. The crowd gasped, some cheering, others booing, while phones kept recording every second. It was a scene straight out of a reality show, but this was no script. This was real, raw, and messy. "Stop talking to me," King shouted, his face red, his words slicing through the noise. "This ain't your restaurant. This ain't your world. I stand on business." The crowd erupted, some laughing, others shocked that the 19-year-old would challenge his father so publicly. T.I., usually calm in the spotlight, snapped back. "You embarrassing the family, boy. Sit down before you ruin yourself." And just like that, the father-son dynamic millions thought they understood was shattered. Within hours, Instagram lit up with King's fiery rant. He looked into the camera, his voice trembling not with fear, but with defiance. "I don't care who you are. I'm a grown man now. If I was a mistake, say that. Stop playing with me." Those words cut deeper than any insult, because they weren't just directed at T.I. They were aimed at the entire image of a family that once appeared untouchable. Fans flooded the comments, some siding with King, saying they could feel his pain, while others accused him of being spoiled and entitled, crying wolf after growing up with money and privilege. But the words were already out there, echoing through timelines and headlines. If I was a mistake, say that. This wasn't the first time King had made the news for acting out. The infamous Waffle House incident still lingers in people's memories. Back then, he was caught on video belittling workers, waving his money like a weapon, and treating them as if they were beneath him. The backlash was swift and brutal, but T.I.'s response only added fuel to the fire. Instead of condemning his son's arrogance, the rapper brushed it off, defending King in a way that made fans feel like he was enabling bad behavior. "That's my boy," he said at the time. He's still learning. But to the public, it looked like a millionaire's son being shielded from accountability. Then came the cruel chip challenge, where King offered a homeless man $50 to eat a dangerously hot chip, without water for 5 minutes. The man's agony was clear, but King laughed, filming it for entertainment. Fans were disgusted. Hashtags trended. Calls for accountability echoed across platforms. But again, King stood firm. No apology, no remorse, just a shrug and a smirk that made the internet boil. To critics, it was proof that he was a reckless rich kid chasing clout. To his defenders, it was the behavior of a young man desperate for attention in the shadow of a famous father. And then, like a bomb waiting to go off, King dropped his next revelation. He claimed that while the world thought he lived in luxury with his superstar parents, the truth was different. "I grew up in my grandma's house," he said, almost spitting the words. "That TV show? That's when I'd see them. They'd come get me when the cameras were rolling. After that, back to the hood I went." Fans were floored. Could it really be true that one of Atlanta's most famous sons was raised away from the lavish estates, living with his grandmother while his parents traveled the world? Receipts started surfacing, neighbors recalling seeing him at his grandma's more than at T.I.'s mansion. Old interviews where King himself admitted the same. Slowly, the image of a perfect family started to crumble. The Harris household, once portrayed as a dynasty of love and unity, was now being painted as fractured, inconsistent, and built for the cameras. Zonique, Tiny's daughter from a previous relationship, had once hinted at the same truth, saying she, too, spent most of her childhood with her grandmother because her mom and T.I. were constantly traveling. Fans started connecting the dots. Was the family hustle just a polished illusion designed to show unity while the real story was one of neglect and absence? For many who grew up watching the show, this revelation hit hard. They felt deceived, like they had invested in an image that was nothing more than smoke and mirrors. But just when the internet thought it had seen enough drama, the whispers began. Whispers that threatened to shatter the Harris family legacy completely. Rumors surfaced that T.I. might not even be King's biological father. It started with casual comments online, people pointing out how King didn't look like his dad. Then photos of a man named B. Anthony went viral, showing a striking resemblance to King. Social media went into overdrive. Side-by-side comparisons filled comment sections with captions like, "Y'all telling me this ain't King's real daddy?" The resemblance was undeniable, and fans couldn't stop talking. Did Tiny have a hidden past? Was there a secret that had been buried for years? King's fiery statements suddenly took on a darker meaning. When he accused his father of being absent, of acting like a dad only for the cameras, some fans started to wonder, was it because deep down King felt T.I. wasn't really his father? Could his defiance and anger be rooted in years of resentment, in the feeling of being treated like an outsider in his own family? The rumors were spreading like wildfire, and the silence from Tiny only made things worse. She didn't deny, she didn't confirm. She simply stayed quiet, and in the world of celebrity gossip, silence speaks louder than words. Fans are now torn. Some believe King is a troubled young man lashing out, desperate for attention. Others think his pain is real, that he's been carrying scars from a fractured childhood and secrets hidden behind the glitz of fame. What's certain is this: the Harris family is no longer seen as untouchable. The cracks are visible, the whispers are loud, and the drama is spiraling beyond control. The Falcons game was supposed to be a night of entertainment and unity, but instead it turned into a public family implosion. By the time the clips made their rounds on social media, King Harris had already become the trending topic of the week. His name was splashed across blogs, reaction channels, and gossip sites, each one adding their own spin to the saga. Fans debated endlessly. Was King simply rebellious, or was this meltdown the tip of an iceberg of family secrets? What made things worse was King's refusal to stay quiet. Hours after the stadium clash, he jumped on Instagram Live again. His tone was sharp, his eyes restless. "Y'all keep acting like I'm supposed to sit back and let people treat me any type of way. I'm not no little boy. If I was a mistake, say that. But don't play with me like I ain't stand on my own." The words sent shockwaves across timelines. It wasn't just a rant anymore. It was a son openly challenging the image of his father in front of millions. T.I., on the other hand, tried to present calm. He released no official statement, but clips surfaced of him brushing the incident off backstage, telling friends, "Kids gon' be kids. He just learning his way." But fans weren't buying it. The footage of him locking his son in a headlock was too raw, too aggressive. To some, it looked like discipline. To others, it was humiliation, and humiliation is something King wasn't going to let slide. By the next morning, celebrities and industry figures began to weigh in. Some defended T.I., saying parents have the right to check their kids no matter the age. Others sided with King, pointing out that the boy's pain seemed genuine, rooted in years of being overlooked. Talk shows, podcasts, and reaction videos dissected every frame of the Falcons game, slowing the footage down, analyzing body language, and reading meaning into every glare and gesture. It became more than a family argument. It became a cultural conversation about fame, fatherhood, and fractured families. The Harris household, once seen as Atlanta royalty, now looked fractured. The polished Instagram posts, the coordinated red carpet appearances, they were being reinterpreted as smoke and mirrors. King's rage suddenly seemed like more than just entitlement. It looked like a cry from someone who had grown up feeling sidelined, despite living under the shadow of fame and fortune. But then the biggest wave of rumors hit. Internet detectives began circulating photos of a man named B. Anthony, pointing out his uncanny resemblance to King. Side-by-side comparisons flooded social media. "Look at them, y'all," one viral comment said. "It looked like Benny spit this boy out. Tiny, you got some explaining to do." The comment section went wild. Memes popped up, hashtags trended, and whispers turned into full-blown speculation. Could it be true that T.I. wasn't King's biological father? King's silence on the matter only deepened the intrigue. He didn't deny, but he didn't confirm. Instead, he kept firing shots at T.I. "Stop making the world think you with me when you don't be with me," he said in one clip. To his supporters, that was a veiled reference to the paternity rumors. To critics, it was just another attempt at clout. But the seed of doubt had already been planted, and the internet was watering it by the hour. Tiny, caught in the middle, made no public comment. Her silence was deafening. Fans speculated that if the rumors were false, she would have shut them down immediately. But her refusal to say anything only fueled the fire. Blogs began running headlines about Tiny's silence and what it could mean. The longer she stayed quiet, the louder the rumors grew. Meanwhile, King's reputation in the music world was taking a hit. Instead of being recognized for his tracks, he was being ridiculed as the rapper whose career was overshadowed by family drama. Promoters hesitated to book him, worried he'd bring scandal to their shows. Comment sections under his music videos filled with jokes about paternity and questions about his authenticity. "Who your daddy for real?" became a common jab. What should have been his breakout moment as an artist was now being smothered by gossip. And yet, some fans saw this chaos as an opportunity. They argued that King could turn the scandal into storytelling, using his pain and confusion as raw material for his music. After all, hip-hop has always been about authenticity, about turning struggle into art. If King embraced his truth, whatever it was, he could carve out a lane that no one else could touch. But that required maturity, honesty, and focus, 3 things the internet wasn't convinced he had just yet. The Harris family's silence did little to stop the spiral. Every time King posted another rant, the rumor mill cranked back up. Every time T.I. brushed the situation off, fans accused him of ignoring real pain. Every time Tiny stayed quiet, speculation doubled. It became a cycle of mistrust and chaos that played out in real time, with millions watching. For many fans, the Falcons game wasn't just a meltdown. It was a metaphor. A father physically restraining his son in public, while the son screamed about being misunderstood. It was the perfect visual of a deeper truth. A young man desperate to be seen for who he is, while a father clung to the image he wanted the world to believe. And once those images hit the internet, there was no going back. If the Falcons game was the spark, then what came next was the explosion. King Harris wasn't done talking, and neither was the internet. By midweek, every gossip blog, every hip-hop podcast, and even mainstream outlets were weighing in on the Harris family feud. The hashtags were relentless. King vs. T.I., family drama, paternity rumors. Fans didn't just want updates, they demanded them. And King, never one to shy away from attention, gave them exactly what they craved. Late one night, King fired up another Instagram Live. The camera shook as he paced around, his voice raw with emotion. "Y'all think this a joke? I've been through hell. Don't nobody know what it's like to be raised by cameras, to only see your daddy when it's time to shoot a TV show. That's not family, that's business. And I'm tired of it." He paused, staring into the lens as if daring T.I. to respond. "If you love me, then show it. Don't just pull me up when the light's on. And if I ain't your son, just say that." The comments exploded. Thousands tuned in, spamming the chat with fire emojis, crying faces, and endless speculation. "He's speaking his truth," one fan wrote. Another jabbed, "Stop crying, you spoiled." But the line that got the most attention was that last one. "If I ain't your son, just say that." In an instant, the paternity rumor went from whispers in the shadows to a public conversation no one could ignore. Meanwhile, T.I. tried to carry on with business as usual. He attended events, posed for photos, and even cracked jokes about people reading too much into things. But every time he smiled for the cameras, fans flooded the comments with side-eye emojis and accusations. "Why you not addressing King? Why you quiet on the rumors? Say something about Benny." T.I.'s refusal to speak on it only fueled the narrative that there was something to hide. Behind the scenes, insiders claimed the Harris household was in turmoil. Tiny reportedly begged King to tone down his rants, telling him he was feeding the blogs. But King wouldn't listen. "They need to know," he allegedly told her. "I ain't living no fake life no more." Even close family friends were divided. Some urged King to respect his father publicly and keep private matters off social media. Others felt his pain was valid, that he was exposing the side of fame nobody wanted to talk about. Then came another twist. A photo surfaced online of King at a family cookout, standing next to B. Anthony, the man fans said looked like his real father. The resemblance in the photo was undeniable. Side-by-side comparisons went viral again, and the internet exploded with captions like, "Case closed," and "This explains everything." Whether the photo was old or new didn't matter. To fans, it was confirmation. To critics, it was just another piece of gossip. But for King, it was ammunition. In his next post, he dropped a cryptic caption, "Blood don't make you family. Loyalty do." Fans interpreted it as a direct shot at T.I. Within minutes, the post had thousands of likes and hundreds of comments. Some praised him for standing his ground, others begged him to stop airing dirty laundry. But King wasn't backing down. He seemed to thrive on the chaos, using every rumor and every insult as fuel to keep the spotlight on him. The music industry began to take notice in a different way. Promoters whispered about canceling bookings. Label executives debated whether King was worth the investment, worried the scandal would overshadow his music. But there was also a growing counter-narrative. Some believed the drama could make him a star. "Hip-hop loves authenticity," one producer tweeted. "If King channels this pain into music, he gon' blow." Others weren't so optimistic, calling him a liability. The divide was sharp, and King's future seemed more uncertain by the day. Meanwhile, fans dissected every move T.I. made. When he posted a motivational quote about keeping your house in order, the internet erupted. "Is he talking about King?" they asked. When he shared a throwback photo of his kids, commenters swarmed, pointing out that King wasn't in the picture. "You left him out on purpose," one fan accused. Whether intentional or not, every post became a new chapter in the family's ongoing soap opera, and then came the emotional bombshell that sent everything into overdrive. In a late-night stream, King broke down in tears. His voice cracked as he said, "All I ever wanted was my father. Not the rapper, not the businessman, just my dad. But I got cameras, I got fans, I got lies. Y'all don't know what that do to a person." The vulnerability stunned viewers. For the first time, beneath the anger and bravado, they saw a young man crumbling under the weight of fame and fractured family bonds. Fans flooded the comments with support. "We hear you, King. Stay strong. You not alone." But critics still doubted, accusing him of using emotion as a publicity stunt. The divide between supporters and skeptics only grew wider. And through it all, T.I. remained silent, his silence becoming louder than any statement he could make. At this point, the Harris drama wasn't just entertainment, It was cultural currency. Talk shows debated it. Podcasts broke it down frame by frame. Fans argued on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Each camp convinced they knew the truth. Some saw King as a victim of neglect and betrayal. Others saw him as a reckless kid burning bridges for clout. But everyone agreed on one thing. This was the most explosive family drama hip-hop had seen in years. The tension reached a boiling point when another rumor surfaced. That King was preparing to drop a diss track aimed at T.I. The internet went wild. Was he really about to put his father on blast through music? Would he air out the family's darkest secrets in a song? Blogs teased the possibility, fans speculated about lyrics, and industry insiders braced for impact. Whether true or not, the rumor was enough to send the story into another viral wave. And as if that weren't enough, whispers began that B. Anthony himself was considering speaking out. Some claimed he was approached by blogs for interviews. Others said he was ready to clear his name. If that happened, the Harris family's carefully guarded privacy would shatter completely. The stage was set for even more drama, and fans couldn't look away. For King, the saga was both a curse and a platform. Every rant, every rumor, every tear. Each one added layers to his story, painting him as a young man at war not just with his father, but with his identity. And until the truth came out, the world was left to speculate, dissect, and argue about who was right, who was wrong, and who was really telling the truth. By the time the fourth week of chaos rolled around, the Harris family name had become less about music and more about scandal. Every corner of the internet buzzed with the same questions. What really happened between King and T.I.? Was King telling the truth about being mistreated? And most dangerously of all, was T.I. even his biological father? The rumor mill was running on overdrive, and each day brought a new twist that kept fans glued to their screens. The breaking point came during another public appearance. T.I. and Tiny attended a charity gala in Atlanta, smiling for cameras, dressed in their best. But as the flashbulbs went off, fans in the crowd began shouting, "Where King at? Say something about Benny." The questions cut through the air like daggers, and for the first time, T.I.'s face cracked. He forced a smile, but his eyes gave him away. He was tired, cornered, and the walls of silence he had built were starting to crumble. Meanwhile, King doubled down with another cryptic post. A photo of him with his arms crossed, captioned, "The truth always come out one way or another." Fans went wild, interpreting it as a direct warning to T.I. blogs plastered the image across their headlines, calling it the calm before the storm. To make things worse, insiders whispered that King had secretly recorded private conversations with family members, threatening to release them if he felt pushed too far. Whether true or not, the idea alone sent shockwaves through the industry. And then came the alleged betrayal that shook fans to their core. According to social media chatter, one of King's close friends leaked text messages claiming King had confided that he didn't believe T.I. was his father. Screenshots spread like wildfire, showing King allegedly saying, "He know the truth. My mom know the truth. Everybody know. They just don't want to say it." Instantly, the internet lost its mind. Was this the proof fans had been waiting for? Or just another layer of fabricated drama? No one could say for sure, but the damage was done. Tiny's silence became the loudest sound in the room. Critics accused her of protecting herself, not her son. Supporters argued she was shielding her family from more chaos. Either way, every day she stayed quiet was another day the speculation grew louder. Some even began to wonder if her silence was an unspoken confirmation. T.I., for his part, finally cracked. At a live performance, after finishing one of his classic hits, he grabbed the mic and addressed the crowd directly. "Ain't no rumor gonna break my family. Ain't no internet gonna tell me who my son is. That's my boy, whether y'all like it or not. And if he got something to say, he can say it to me, not y'all." The crowd erupted, half cheering, half gasping. Some saw it as a strong stand, a father reclaiming his role. Others thought it sounded defensive, even desperate. Either way, the feud had now jumped from Instagram to the stage, and the entire culture was watching. King wasted no time firing back. Hours later, he posted a video mocking his father's statement. Funny how you can talk tough on stage but can't talk to me face to face. You hug me when the camera's on, but behind the scenes you don't even check on me. You the performer, not the father." Fans were floored. The war of words wasn't just playing out in private. It was now a full-scale public showdown. The rap community chimed in too. Some OGs called for peace, urging T.I. to handle this behind closed doors. Others criticized King, saying he was disrespecting a legend. But a surprising number of younger artists sided with King, pointing out that being famous doesn't excuse being absent. The split revealed a generational divide. Older fans valued respect for the parent, while younger ones sympathized with King's cries for acknowledgement. Then came the rumor that nearly broke the internet. B. Anthony himself was allegedly preparing to do an exclusive interview. The blogs exploded with anticipation. Would he confirm the whispers? Would he deny them? Or would he stay as silent as Tiny? The mere possibility of him speaking out sent shockwaves through the Harris fanbase. Fans began crafting theories. Some claimed the family was paying him to stay quiet. Others insisted he was ready to step into the spotlight. Whether real or not, the buzz was deafening, and just when people thought it couldn't get messier, King shocked everyone again. During another live stream, he broke into tears, his voice cracking. "Y'all don't get it. I've been carrying this my whole life. Smiles for the camera, but pain when the lights go off. I'm not perfect. I made mistakes, but I ain't lying about how I feel. If he my daddy, then why I feel like a stranger in my own house?" The vulnerability was undeniable, and for a moment, even his harshest critics softened. But the internet is ruthless. Within hours, clips of him crying turned into memes. Some mocked him, others defended him, and once again, the Harris family drama became the top trending topic. The cycle seemed endless. King spoke out. Fans divided, T.I. deflected, Tiny stayed silent, and the rumors grew stronger. The deeper tragedy was clear. This wasn't just about a stadium fight or a few Instagram posts. It was about years of unresolved pain, about family secrets bubbling to the surface, about the line between celebrity image and private reality. And while fans laughed, argued, and speculated, a family was breaking apart in real time, with the whole world watching. By the end of the month, the Harris saga had become the internet's favorite soap opera. Fans tuned in daily for new twists, new posts, new reactions. Would B. Anthony speak? Would Tiny finally break her silence? Would T.I. and King ever reconcile? The questions hung heavy in the air, unanswered, fueling the fire. One thing was certain, the drama wasn't over. If anything, it was only just beginning. And so, the Harris family saga stands at a crossroads. On one side, you have King Harris, a young man demanding recognition, battling rumors, and refusing to be silenced no matter how messy it gets. On the other, you have T.I., a rap legend whose legacy is now tangled in whispers of neglect, fractured bonds, and shocking speculation about paternity. Tiny's silence hangs over it all like a shadow, fueling questions that may never get real answers. What makes this story so gripping is that it's not just about celebrity drama. It's about family, identity, and the painful clash between image and reality. For years, fans believed the Harris household was picture perfect, the definition of love, hustle, and unity. But behind the bright lights and camera smiles, a different picture has emerged. One of kids raised by grandmothers, of public affection masking private distance, and of secrets that could unravel an empire. And the biggest question remains, where does King go from here? Will he turn his pain into music that finally earns him respect beyond his father's shadow? Or will the constant chaos drown out his voice before it ever finds its audience? For now, the internet is left buzzing, dissecting every word, every live stream, every side-by-side photo. Fans are split. Is this reckless behavior from a privileged son, or a cry for help from someone desperate for love and truth? One thing is certain, this story isn't over. Every move, every post, every silence will keep fueling the fire, and we'll be here to break it down for you as it unfolds. So what do you think about King Harris's claims and the rumors tearing this family apart? Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button, and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next explosive update.